here ready to go.
I had to click the confirm button, but hey.
How's it going?
I'm doing great.
So
how are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome.
You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, my name's Thomas Crawford. I live about 20 minutes south of Atlanta, Georgia. I play guitar and do writing and recording in a band called Manhack. We're a metal band based out of Atlanta. Lived pretty much on the south side of Atlanta my entire life. Moved around a few places, but yeah, I mean, it's a rough, kind of short synopsis.
How long have you been into social media content creation?
How long? Wow. That really started, honestly. Honestly, probably when I uploaded the first Manhack song, which was it was really 2011. I uploaded the first track to SoundCloud.
Okay.
Which we actually still have our SoundCloud for some reason, because I don't feel like anybody uses SoundCloud anymore, but it's still up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've been the sole individual that is posting the content to the social medias, that's managing it, that's responding to messages, that's doing all of that. That's kind of how that started. And then you just do it for so long that you try to figure out the best way to do it, right? Like, how can I maximize this, right? How can I go from just being the local band that just posts the same crap that all the other local bands do? How can I'm still a local band, but how can I not be that anymore? So just doing research and figuring out how to actually make it worth it. Because if it were up to me, I wouldn't be on it at all, honestly. Because I have my own issues with social media.
So we figured out how long you've been with the social media creator for the band Manhack. So would that be also content creator with just the band, or do you create content for other companies or just for you?
It's mostly for Manhack and all of the Metal Weasel stuff, which is just the kind of gaming Twitch content. I haven't really done Twitch in a while because honestly, when I decided to start really pushing Manhack hard, I just didn't have time. It's like I always had to be doing something Manhack related. But I mean, at one point I was working with a friend of mine in an auto shop, and I was their social media manager. So I would go there, I'd work set hours a week and go and take pictures and videos and post to their social media for them. So I was there helping them out with that. And yeah, I mean, when I started Hack Frame Media, I managed that obviously, but I mean, that's really mostly what it's been. So I did that a little bit, but I mean, that was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. So my uploading to social media, but it wasn't really much. I mean, it's mostly just been my stuff. So yeah.
And with speaking with most of your stuff, how does it feel to have 1 million views on one of your videos, on one of the videos you created?
You know what's crazy about this is another one is about to hit 1 million. A second one. It's I don't know. It's weird. I didn't, especially considering typically with social media, at least with Instagram, it's a little delayed. So I mean, unless it really blows up, it'll get to 1 million quick. But that post took about 2 or 3 weeks to get there. I think about 3 weeks. But I mean, if you go back and look at the post, it's kind of the perfect storm for something that's going to go viral. I mean, it's short form content, so it's quick. So it has a high percentage of watch time. It's funny. It has a hook. It has a call to action. I mean, there's all that stuff, and then obviously you sneak in your band song, and then it has all those benefits. But yeah, that was weird because I've never had that happen before. I didn't think it was going to hit that much at first because it wasn't really. I mean, it was doing good compared to the other ones, but yeah, when it hit 1 million, that was pretty crazy. And like I said, there's another post right now. I think last time I checked, it had 929,000 or something like that. It's going to hit 1 million again. And when that first one hit, the craziest thing was not even really the views on the post. It was really just the comments. I mean, Because ever since I started this, I've been trying to respond to every single comment.
Oh God.
when I first uploaded that first track to SoundCloud, 2011, I responded to every single comment. I've been doing that since. So when that happened, I'm like, fuck, like this is but no, the other crazy thing about that was what it did to our Spotify.
Let me see if I can actually let me pull up some of your Spotify here.
It's going to be kind of hard to see it now because we've actually been taking out ads and stuff too, and the ads are going to be a lot of that. But so here, for instance, Expedition, that has that many views because of a meme video.
Yeah.
66 years old, intro, all these songs right here have these many views now because of fucking memes. So initially what happened was that video, I think it was like 4 or 5 times increased our Spotify monthly listeners in 3 weeks. And I didn't tell anybody in the video to go check our Spotify. I didn't tell them to click the link in the bio. There is a link in our bio.
Yeah.
But they just did it anyway, which was why, I mean, it went from 200 monthly listeners to like something like 1,100 or something. I mean, like that. And I was like, okay, this is probably what I need to do more of.
I see. Like, what was your opinion on like the TikTok and the Twitch? Like, I there is a video out there I did see you make about how you didn't get as many followers because you did like a TikTok challenge. I do want to hear more about that.
Yeah. So the TikTok thing, that's interesting because TikTok has insane organic reach right now. At all the social medias, if you want organic reach, you're going to get it on TikTok and get it on Instagram Reels, right? I didn't want to be on TikTok because I talked a lot of shit about it, honestly, and because TikTok is just whack to me. I mean, the people on it and the content they make, it's just anyway.
I have like a TikTok and I probably only have like 53 people that follow me too. I like post a lot of like witchy videos of me making stuff and like no one bites on it like at all. And like I have a bunch of plants growing and I make really pretty videos, but no one will watch them. Someone will watch a video of me like melting wax and I'm like, how is that better than this one? Or like, why is this better? Like it makes no sense to me.
It's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, but the main thing that I gathered from TikTok was you have to post at least 3 times a day. If you go from starting out posting 3 times a day, for me personally, 3 times a day, I got 800 average views per post. Now, when you're a new account with 0 followers, that's a lot. That's insane. Mm-hmm. However, I picked up a gig, freelance gig, working at a trade show for a week. I worked 80 hours in 7 days. I couldn't post 3 times a day. I mean, it just, I still did once a day. But when I switched to once a day, my average views per video went down to 200 the same day, like the first day that I went to once a day. It wasn't like it tapered off. It was just like 3 times a day. Oh, you're posting once a day. And it was like it dropped off a cliff, literally. And then I took 2 days off. The next video got 6 views.
Yeah.
And then the next 4 videos averaged 100. So it's like every time I took time off from using TikTok, I got punished. And I could see it just clear as day.
Yeah.
Instagram isn't like that. Right? If I post 3 times a day, cool. But I don't notice that I get punished severely if I post 3 times a day, like we did on Sunday, for instance. And today I only posted 1. I'm not noticing that. So that was my gripe with TikTok. It was just so cut and dry that it kind of made it pretty much like you have to post 3 times a day if you want to use TikTok. And there's a buddy of mine, is TikTok's Low Spirit. He's a great singer and does these badass covers, and that's what took him off or helped him to kind of get famous on TikTok. But he started posting 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And when his views started to go down, even for him, you can see he decrease the frequency which he posts. So that was kind of my thing with TikTok with that, honestly.
And then we have, I guess you
like the
also
Twitch
have
thing?
Yes.
Yeah. What was the question again about Twitch exactly?
What would your opinion be on TikTok and Twitch and how the social media
works? The opinion on Twitch. Oh god. How much time do you have?
How much time do I
Oh man. Twitch is, I'm gonna try to make this short, but I feel like I'm gonna go on a rant. Twitch is killing themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And a lot of it honestly has to do with the lewd sexual content that's on the site. You've probably heard the term booby streaming, which whatever, people are going to do that anyway. But the hot tub streaming became a meta and all this stuff. Well, it ended up being an issue because what's happening is it's kind of like one of those things where Twitch needs to make a decision where they either allow that stuff
or
and they're kind of like an 18 and up site, or they don't. But they try to ride the fence, right? And it doesn't really work because what's happening is Twitch doesn't have a dynamic ad system like YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you watch a girl in a bath in a bikini in a hot tub on YouTube, you're going to get more ads like that. Right?
Yeah.
If you watch a video on YouTube where it's about how to make coffee, I don't know, you're going to get ads about coffee, right?
Yeah.
Twitch doesn't have that. So when a company goes to Twitch and says, I want to run an ad on your site, that ad could go anywhere to anyone. So if you have a coffee company and you want to run an ad, you don't want your shit on some girl whose titties are almost falling out on stream.
Yes.
Right.
This is certainly
now, whether or not you want to pull your titties out on stream, whatever, but that ain't the place to do it. And what's happening is all these companies, big companies, are pulling their ads from Twitch. So Twitch is losing millions of dollars a year in ad revenue just because they won't address this issue.
Yeah.
So the other issue with having this kind of softcore porn stuff on there is there's kids on this site.
Yes.
And Twitch is not afraid to push that content. So if you're a 13-year-old kid who, which I mean, let's be real, if you're that young, even you have the internet, you've probably seen porn at some point. And either way, Twitch isn't the place to go for it.
No.
You make an account, first day you sign in, you're probably going to see some of that. So now, if the kid is going out of his way to go to like Pornhub or something, I mean, that's another discussion.
Yeah.
But that site shouldn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's not only is that content draining Twitch's revenue and people are just pulling their ads left and right because they don't. There's also a gambling issue. There's just gambling streams. So you have the booby streamers, the hot tub streams, the borderline softcore porn, and you have the gambling.
Yeah.
And all of that could potentially be put in front of kids. So, I mean, it's like Twitch is, I don't know. And plus, Twitch doesn't have any discoverability. You can't just stream on Twitch and expect to get bigger. Yeah. Nobody's going to watch you. Yeah. Because if you go to Doom Eternal, for instance, and you look at the top, it's going to number everybody from top to bottom based on who has the most views. So if you got 4 views, you're all the way down to the bottom. Ain't nobody going to see you. There's zero discoverability on that site. The entire site would have to be reworked for someone to actually find you on the site. So in order to get bigger on Twitch, you have to make videos on YouTube. That's the meta. You have to create YouTube content to get people to come to your Twitch because you can't just do it on Twitch. So Twitch is just and plus affiliate status on Twitch is garbage because you can pay for it now.
Yeah.
So you're better off streaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. That triples your exposure. And if you still want to generate revenue somehow, you create a donation link. And then if people want to donate to you, cool, they will, right? So Twitch is just, I try to condense it as much as I could, but it's just...
So since you are in Atlanta, Georgia, how is the music scene in Atlanta, Georgia compared to anywhere else, honestly?
The scene is awesome. There's a lot of people. The thing that I have an issue with is lack of venues, really.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of scenes, I feel like a lot of scenes are kind of dealing with the same thing, perhaps. But so really the only place, and actually there was a post that a venue called the Highlander in Atlanta made today saying that today was going to be the last day they were open. They've been open for 30 years. So the scene's there. And I think we're kind of benefiting from the whole post-COVID thing too, where a lot of people are going to shows just for the sake of going to them.
Yeah.
So it's easier to pack out a venue now. It's just we're kind of limited on venues. There is a new one called Sabbath Brewing, which we've had a series of shows called the Peach Pit Summer Series, which
I think I have it on here about how it was 3 years. While you were 3 years, you weren't playing any shows, and then you have one coming up soon.
Yeah. So our last show before COVID was December 2019. Mm-hmm. So we played a show right around Christmas with Evergreen Terrace in Drunken Unicorn, and then we played in Savannah with some local bands the end of December, and then COVID and all that. And then our first show back was April 23rd, so a couple months ago in Panama City. So I mean, the scene's there. It's just there's a lack of venues, and it seems like I don't know. I think the lack of venues is the main thing. Honestly, we just need more of them.
Yeah. So since I'm in Richmond, Virginia, it's a big city, and like there's shows like there's so many venues, which is weird. You know, there's like
awesome.
Yeah, but you have like pop venues, you have hip hop venues, you have EDM venues, you have metal venues. Is there a particular spot or like anything you recommend any of the bands in your area try out that is still open?
Venue wise?
Yeah.
Like just any bands in my area that I'd recommend them to?
I mean, if you want to, yeah. I'm just saying like local wise, what kind of steps would they have to take to get into that field?
I would say the guy that you need to hit up, his name is Jeff Manning. He's the guy that booked us for Sabbath Brewing on the 25th, this coming up Saturday, and who did the Peach Pit Summer Series, which has been a series of shows with local Atlanta metal bands at Sabbath Brewing, which is a new venue, thankfully. Okay. Pretty cool little spot. The best bet I would say is to hit him up because he would probably put you on a show and not something that's going to make you sell tickets or has all these steep requirements or anything like that. He'll probably look at your social media and see that you're somewhat relevant, right? He's doing something, yeah. But there's a few shows on this summer series that he's booked that I feel like he's done that with, where they're a little bit smaller, but he kind of put them on there because they were just kind of up and coming. So that would be the first place I would start, honestly.
What kind of influences did you get from your band? Like what type of things like you listen to get that feel in the music that is being produced?
Like you're talking about like writing influences perhaps from Manhack or something like that? Just anything?
Yeah.
So there's three big ones: Metallica, Pantera, and Fear Factory. That was my segue into metal, underground metal. Well, actually, Metallica and Pantera were kind of my segue into metal. Fear Factory was kind of my segue into underground metal because Demanufacture was the first underground album that I had ever gotten. Main segue for me though was Headbangers Ball Volume 1. Because that had a lot of the bands that I kind of heard before mainstream wise, but it also had a lot of bands like Hate Breed and Unearth and Killswitch Engage on it. And I had never heard that type of metal before. And in fact, I didn't even like it at first because that screaming stuff, right? Which is funny because what I listen to now, what we write now, but eventually that stuff grew on me and I started picking up more influence from that. Specifically a little bit of influence from Despised Icon and Bury Your Dead. Surprisingly, even though those two bands really aren't the same. No. But it's mainly from Metallica, Pantera, and Fear Factory, honestly.
Okay. What bands have you played with, and what bands would you like to play with one day?
Well, as far as local bands are concerned, I guess we'll start there. I mean, damn, we've played with really good friends with the guys in Void Eater, Six, Legacy Unwritten, Depressor. I'm gonna forget so many bands. We played with Let's Suffer before. I think we even played with them before that when they were called Lost at Last. Bigger acts that we've played with. These three are at the Masquerade. We opened up for Summer Slaughter. We had done a Summer Slaughter showcase show. We won that, and that let us open up for Summer Slaughter, so that was cool. We've opened up for Fit for an Autopsy, that tour that they had. We played with Filth. Excuse me, almost said that wrong. Filth. We played with Evergreen Terrace, and what's the other one that I'm forgetting? The other kind of big show that we had. Some out of state shows that I can't remember, but I mean, yeah, that's some of the ones off that I can at least think of right now.
All right. That sounds like a good time, honestly, like especially Filth. That's pretty dope, you know? That's something that sounds pretty cool. Did you enjoy it? Was that one of your favorite openings of Filth? Was that one of your favorites, or was there one you
That show was pretty cool. That show was interesting because it happened in Douglasville, and Douglasville hadn't had a show in a while. The craziest one though was definitely opening up for Summer Slaughter. Because I'm not sure if you've ever been to Summer Slaughter, but there's 400 kids before the first band starts already there. I mean, so that was in Heaven at the Masquerade, which is their biggest space, and they gave us the full sound, and there's just 400 or 500 people out in the crowd, and I mean, it was wild. I got little butterflies on that one. I wasn't really nervous, but it was just like, damn, okay, this was what's up.
So like we have something like that. It's called Blue Ridge Festival, Rock Festival, which is at the Virginia Raceway. And actually a lot of big bands are being there, and a lot of local bands like Slipknot, I think, is having a day where they're there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then we have like a bunch of local bands trying to get in, and it's pretty dope. So you have all these local bands from Richmond trying to get into the Blue Ridge, and then it's a 4-day festival. Would you ever want to travel to Virginia to do any shows up here, or would your area most likely be?
Absolutely. And the way I look at it is all that's coming at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, all we have to do is just keep doing what we're doing because it's working. So eventually some big guy somewhere is going to see that, okay, these guys are doing something different, right? These guys have 3 videos, let's say by that time, that have over 1 million views, and they only have X number of followers, right? The number of views they're getting on their posts are way more than their followers, this and that. They post every day. They're coming out with a new song every 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, if we keep doing that, eventually we're going to start playing further and further out.
How has your digital creations helped out with your music career?
I guess you're just kind of talking about the social media posts in general. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what we were saying earlier. I mean, meme video goes viral equals quadrupling of Spotify monthly listeners. I mean, to put it bluntly and as primitive as I can, I guess that's how it's helped. But I mean, for so long, I never really posted on social media right. Never really did it correctly. Yeah, I would post on there, but I would make a post, and then 6 days later, I'd do another one, and then maybe I'd do one the next day, and then 2 weeks would go by, and I would, right? Well, once we started posting once a day, people start noticing that. And that helps you to get more organic followers. Now, there's other stuff you need to be doing on your content to get followers, but that's really how you start building hype. And I saw somebody on Facebook talk about this. They asked how to increase your Spotify monthly listeners or Spotify traffic, or I think one guy said, I'm about to release a new song. How do I build hype? And I said, start posting on social media once a day. Boom. Because what that's going to do is it's going to notice people are going to go to they might see your piece of content, but then they're going to see that you do it all of the time. And if your content is quality enough, that person's going to keep coming back. And they're eventually going to listen to you on Spotify.
Yes.
But that listener isn't just going to listen to you once.
Yeah.
Because you're providing them consistent quality, because you're providing them entertainment, which is why you're in a band, right? You entertain people.
Yes.
They're going to keep going back and listening on Spotify. So that's really how it's helped us out, how the social media content has helped us out with our careers, or Manhack, I guess, if you want to say the same thing there. Social media content has helped Manhack by drastically increasing our traffic to all of our streaming services.
That's what, like, I feel like a lot of bands don't understand. They're just like, I'm just going to go out and do it. And I'm like, you're not going to find enough people that are out and about. Like, I mean, you may find a certain percentage, but there are more percentage online. Like, if your video does good online, who's to say they're not going to go to your show? So,
and I still believe in doing it in person. I actually don't. I thought I might have had them near me. We make business cards that have a QR code on them. And every one of these Peach Pit Summer Series shows that they've had so far, which has been 3 or 4, I think, I go to every one of them and I pass those cards out and I approach everyone, like cold approach. Like, hey, man, I heard you needed this. Like something funny or something. And I engage in conversation with them and talk to them and compliment their shirt. Like, oh, man, I love that band. The shirt's badass, even if I don't like their shirt.
Yes.
and I just trying to be a cool guy, face of the guy, or face of the band, I guess I should say. So you got to do that too, for sure. But because what I noticed is I would do that in person and it would reaffirm the content that I had made, because there would be people at some of these shows I would go to be like, oh yeah, you made that Doom Eternal reaction video. I'm like, yeah, like, who are you? Or they would like, I remember walking in one time and the guy was like, oh, hey, Manhack, we were just talking about you after I handed him a Manhack flyer. And that's because we've been posting every day. So you really got to post every day on social media, at least once a day. I understand 3 times a day, twice a day even can be tough, but you can do once a day. And that, not just for us, obviously it helped us out a lot and it still is. Yeah. We've gotten 1,000. We went from 2,200 followers to 3,200 in 2 months. So it's 1,000 organic followers just by posting on social media. Obviously that tide is going to raise all ships. So, I mean, that's how that's helped us out.
I mean, you're not just getting the Georgia area, you're getting like the whole area now. So that's like where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm with some of the stuff that we do, we're trying to focus on the Georgia area, because I don't just want to blow up our Spotify numbers. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and Manhack has 60,000 Spotify monthly listeners and then 5 people come out to a show. Right. So I want to do it correctly and I want to kind of focus on Georgia for a while.
Yeah.
But for some of that, it gets blasted out worldwide and there's going to be a lot of traffic. So it's kind of trying to find that balance between, yes, I want stuff to go viral because obviously that's going to help us out everywhere else and more people are going to buy it and stream it. But I also want to do things to focus on people that are actually going to show up in person. So it's about trying to find that balance for both of those, honestly.
Yeah, like I'll go to like local venue shows because I'm marketing for my podcast and then I'm also marketing for my business. So I'll be like handing cards out right and left and people be like, I just heard you talking about your business to someone else. And I'm like, you always got to be talking about it. You know, you always got to be bringing it up in any conversation.
And that's the weird, people say the weirdest shit whenever you, I just heard you talk about it. Well, yeah, that's why I'm here. I mean, people like that, though, they ain't going to listen to your shit. So whatever. You just hand them the card. Like, all right, cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Go and throw it away. I don't care.
That's the one that's going to end up on the ground, right?
Exactly. And like, I mean, it's not about that, you know, it's about getting yourself out there and talking to people and meeting people and actually finding people that, you know, want to, you know, be around you, building a community. And that's what this podcast is about. We're reaching out to everybody, you know, we're not just reaching out in our area, we're reaching out to everybody. Yeah. To build a community.
That's badass, for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for being here. We are cutting it a little close. I feel like we got a lot of content right now, especially from you. I appreciate, you know, everything you had to say, especially you know, your experience.
By quick, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down to come back again because I feel like there's a lot of stuff we didn't touch on for sure.
Yes.
And I love talking about this stuff. Obviously, you asked me a question, I can just go for hours, but I'd be open to that.
Okay, cool. Do you want to go ahead and put in your plugs to let me know, like let everyone know who to follow, where to go?
Yeah. So you can follow me personally on Instagram at Metal Weasel. You can also follow my band at Manhack Official on Instagram, at Metal Weasel, at Manhack Official on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Metal Weasel, or you can just add me personally. You can go to Thomas Crawford and add me on Facebook. Manhack is also on Facebook. Metal Weasel and Manhack are also on YouTube. I mean, Manhack's on all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Besides TikTok. Okay. So one thing we're not on. I'm not going to get on TikTok right now. But yeah, Manhack's on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, or Apple, whatever it is now. Deezer, Bandcamp. You can buy merch from us from Bandcamp. But yeah, I mean, the main thing, honestly, is follow us on Instagram because that's the thing right now that we're trying to really push. So at Manhack Official. We'd really appreciate that. And if you do follow us, send us a message and tell us this is how you found us.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Yeah. It was great having the interview with you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you.